welcome back to my channel. I'm Hope, aka Little Ginge, and today we're continuing in Pine Lake National Park. We've gone out onto the lake today to build a viewing platform and habitat for the lovely, wonderful grey seals. I wanted this to be a really natural build, so there is no underwater viewing, but there is a restaurant out on the island and a little viewing point for people to stand and sort of do seal spotting, was what I intended anyway. I'm currently unsure whether the restaurant actually works because it is connected, but no one seems to be going in and sitting down at the tables. But I've had a problem in multiple of my zoos, so I don't know whether it's just my Planet Zoo doesn't like restaurants, but who knows. We're just admiring our wonderful seals here. We put them in straight away just so I could get an idea of where they would go and where they'd be able to, I was going to say walk, but they don't walk, they bounce. But I spent forever working on this bridge. I still I'm unsure about it, but it does the job and it isn't too extravagant. It fits in with the national park area theme. I've cut out a lot of the faffing that I do with this path set up for the viewing platform and the restaurant and the bridge and everything. There's the cut and a lot of the barriers as well. It was just a lot of faffing and it just took me forever to figure out, and a lot of the time lapse was filmed while I was live on Twitch as well, so if you see the odd emote floating around or if you see excessive mouse wiggling, that'll be why. So just don't mind that, just look past that. Hopefully, I hope you can. But please feel free to follow me over there. The link is in the description. I do Planet Zoo quite often as well as other games, but that isn't the point. Like usual, the path took me forever to figure out, but so did the barriers. Planet Zoo had an update ages ago, and I spoke about it before, that I always have the setting on that the animals can never escape, and that works for land animals, but as soon as there's water involved, and obviously in this sense the water is the lake, and I wanted their enclosure to be smaller than the actual big whole lake, and so it's been a bit messy with that, but I think I've sorted it now because I've extended it all the way out the back edges, except sort of behind where the restaurant is, because that's a bit of the lake I wanted to use for a different animal, maybe the beavers or something along those lines. I have managed to hide most of it because I had this issue for ages that the seals would be swimming underwater and get like a few meters away from the lake and then like teleport back. It was very weird. I was struggling with it for ages, but yeah, it's a pretty boring building, but I think it's okay. I added the mesh underneath because I liked the idea that it would look like something they would have in real life to stop the seals getting underneath the building and getting stuck. But in hindsight, it's also helpful because now you'll realise I never put stilts on the building, and so it is just kind of floating. But that's fine, it's okay. We now covered it with a mesh, so it's fine. Like I said, it's a bit of a boring building. I really struggled with how I had a picture in my head on what I wanted to do, but it didn't come out that way. But I think the wood fits well, and it fits for a very simple national park type building. And I think with some of the conservation pieces, with the conservation pack, I think I could redo it and make it look a lot better, but that might be a future project. And this spot the seal area, you'll see later on in the video and in the time lapse, that is actually a area that I've taken a photo of each of the seals, and like I've gone into Canva and made a little like post that is the name of the seal and their like fur colour and their age to sort of be, and I've added later on I added like a vista point so people would go up to it and like look at the wall even though there's nothing there, to sort of get the idea in that they could stand there and go, oh okay, I want to look at this, let's try and find this seal, sort of maybe with their kids, or if they're just there for the day out, they can go and try and see what seal is around about and see which one's swimming around and which one's out on the island for them to look at. So it feels a bit more realistic, especially since we don't have an underwater viewing. It sort of felt wrong to add the underwater viewing in, so I think it makes sense with what goes on. It's quite cute. I quite like it with the like seal motifs behind. I think it turned out quite well. Especially it adds a lot to the building that I think it would be quite big and boring without it, if that makes sense. But I think it looks really cool. I'm quite proud of it. I like the idea, and I'm glad it turned out the way I wanted it to, if that makes sense. So that's always good. I tried really hard to make this look natural as possible, a lot, especially with around the edges of the island and the lake. I really wanted it to look as natural as possible, so a lot of it's like copied and pasted, but I think it works pretty well, and since it's so far away from when the guests will be viewing, I think it worked pretty well because it means it's all cohesive. I've found that using the set list of foliage items makes things flow together and fit really well, because that is how it would be in real life. There's only certain trees and stuff that would be growing in the wild. I figured out I had to try and add these jetties in because otherwise the like feeding tray would have to be all the way over by where the door is, and that was quite. I didn't like that because I was like, oh, I don't want them all to be crammed in this one little bit of island. I wanted it to be a bit more out in the open, so I have had to add those jetties in, but luckily that's where they end up sleeping. So I have tried to like post everything. I've sunk a few jetties into the ground, like just underneath the ground, in the hopes that they might do their like laying on the sand, and not just on the jetties, because they sort of hop all the way over there just to sleep and then like hop away again to go in the water. But I'm really happy with this habitat. I think it turned out really well. I love the seals. They're so cute. They're such adorable little animals, and I think they get their little noises and their animations in the water are really cute. And I think if you look at click on the individual guests, they'll complain about everything being too far away. But I think if you were in like a real life scenario, this would be really good for seal spotting and like looking out and seeing everything. Obviously I think they would be in the ocean and not in a big lake, but I think it works for Planet Zoo. Here's me faffing with the barrier some more, but I think I cut it out at the end. It was a nightmare. See, that's where he's escaped. It was a whole nightmare. We followed him around for ages. I was like, how have you got out? What's going on? And I think it's just that they teleported through or something. I have no idea, but I cut most of it out because you did not need that to be seen for your whole speed build. Yeah, I'm really happy with the natural foliage and stuff. I think my rock work could use a bit of work because it's really spiky. I find a lot of my rocks are quite spiky, and that isn't how rocks form as much. Like it's not volcanic areas, if that makes sense. It's a lot more smooth, whereas like here is a bit too pointy. But I think that's just me being nitpicky. I think it might be okay like that. Who knows? I think I'm just picking things apart because I'm been looking at it for hours and hours and hours. But yes, I really hope you enjoy the rest of the speed build. I'll let you watch it now. I just add in as a lot of the tree adding, and I think it ties it all together because I was kind of going to leave it as it was, but I think the open back and the rest of the lake being so open, it just felt so wrong. And behind this bit of the lake, I wasn't planning to add anything in. It was going to go sort of more the other side, sort of behind the restaurant and stuff. So I'm glad I added in all the rocks round, which you'll see in a bit, and all the trees, so it's sort of a tree line, so you look out into sort of a dense forest, so it still feels like you are in the middle of a natural national park, and there is trees everywhere, and it is somewhere that makes sense. So yeah, please continue watching the video to see how it all comes together and it all turns out. I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I'm really sorry I don't have more of a regular upload schedule. I seem to make excuses every time I make a video, but there's just a lot going on, and these videos take a lot of time. Like, I think this habitat alone took me like 4 hours maybe, just trying to get the ideas together and then editing it and everything, but that's my problem, not yours. I will try and get more of a regular upload schedule in, especially now I'm on summer break and things like that. But like I said, I stream every week on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays and Thursdays, so please feel free to come over there. We do other things other than Planet Zoo as well, but yes, please enjoy the rest of the video. Please subscribe if you want to see more of my content. I have a lot more over on my channel that you can check out, and more will be coming in the future. Please like the video if you did like it, and continue watching to see how it all turned out and see the cinematics and stuff. I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.
tokiton, babel perque motamalis. Ora shumpado. I fordo, idus nubus. Patasun vai allo mupi. I hedel, peno ramos vadus. Carfo vilos. Cathordis, la mehetto. O prepso dal